Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games, where we shenanigan, sob, and smooch our way through tabletop role-playing games and scream our way through horror video games. I'm Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, our long-running Pulp Cthulhu campaign. Yes, Allie did get a haircut. It looks a boss. Before we go around and talk about Allie's haircut, however, we have some channel stuff to get through. Firstly, a ton of thanks to our sponsors, starting with Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. Oh, thank you, Jim. Mwah. We are part of Roll20's Spotlight program, which highlights indie TTRPG creators all across the interwebs. Lots of fantastic people involved, and we are one of them. Yay! We are also affiliates with Dice Envy and Grinding Coffee Co., two awesome companies. If you like coffee, if you like dice, this is a paperweight, but it's like a dice. You will find excellent things at these two places. We have links, we have codes with them if you want to save some money and give us a small commission. Lots of good stuff, especially during Pride Month. Check it out. I think Grinding Coffee Co. has a coffee right now called the Gay Agenda, and you should go get it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, all right, okay. I thought it was. I'm on an energy high. So also, thank you to everybody who has subbed, gifted subs, resubbed, just watches here with us, watches on YouTube's, all that stuff. Thank you very much. It really, really helps us out. We do also have tip incentives down below. If you would like to affect the game live, you can use bits or our Streamlabs tip jar. If you use bits, we have little fun bit badges now that are dice, and they're super cute. So, anything that comes in helps support the channel, lets us work on new projects, lets us upkeep the ones that we're already doing, and of course goes toward compensating our cast. So you can help us keep the lights on, help out the PCs. It's always appreciated, but never expected. Last thing, we here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, X and N O cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings, because while the characters may be put through hell, or like they read the Necronomicon, the players are here to have fun, and they're our priority always. Oh my gosh, it's actually been a while since I've done that. I was like, I used to know this so well. But before we do any of that, we have a little old channel trailer to show y'all real quick because we just got it done. It's going to be our channel trailer / raid video. So get ready to laugh for the next 60 seconds. We'll see you in a second. Okay, bye. Good morning. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games, where we shenanigan, sob, and smooch our way through tabletop role-playing games and scream our way through various horror video games. I am Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. And then she pounces. With kisses. With kisses. With kisses.
Oh no!
This is bonding. That's what I know bonding is. This is bondage. Bonding. Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! Wait! Please don't do it!
I love you, but also no.
Man,
My man!
on my daughter!
My man!
You try to steal my property!
Yeah! Go, run! Right across now! No!
Heartbreaking.
Ha! It's so good! It's so funny! It's so cute!
It's very cute.
Yay! It makes me very, very happy. Okay, I guess we should talk to the people who helped make it all happen. By necessity, I must start with my sweet friend, Kienna. Kienna, would you tell us who you are playing, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Kienna. Obviously, I am the sweet of the channel, as you've seen several times now during the stream. My pronouns are she and they, but today I am playing Irene Blackwell. Irene is a forger, is a parent, just got her ribs cracked by
Yeah.
a gorilla.
Mm.
Um,
An albino gorilla.
oh no, by a gorilla. And has awkward relationship with her ex. That just happens to be there. Uh, no biggie.
You
And
took
her
out
pronouns are
cultists
she, her.
with dual headshots last time.
Yes, it was really cool.
It was super cool.
It was super cool.
Maybe you should reconsider.
Mm.
Couldn't even say it seriously. All right, I'm done interrupting you. Let's go over to Allie. How can I interrupt you? Tell us about your haircut.
Tell you about my haircut? Well, I got my haircut. And thank God, just in time, because it's 7,000 degrees in Seattle this weekend.
It's so hot. It's hot.
So damn hot. Hi, everybody. I'm Allie. I play Ganymede Graves, adventure scientist. Her hobbies include reading scientific papers, classics in Greek and Latin. Oh, and the Necronomicon. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for me here. I just know I'm feeling a little less sanity than I was the last time we played.
Great. And last but not least for today, Summer.
Hello, hi. I am Summer. I use she, her pronouns, and today I'm going to be playing one Mr. Charlie Rapp. What a guy. What a swell guy.
What a guy.
What to say about this man? Yeah, he is a rich playboy, super sexy, hot, and also talks to ghosts sometimes, and just like has a demon inside him. So super.
He's a
chill and
little
normal.
possessed.
Just a little possessed all the time. Super fun for me.
Yeah.
And him. Mostly me.
Yes. Okay. Tommy will hopefully be back with us next week. Zeb is on a secret mission for now, which I'm excited about. But last thing before we get into a proper recap, if you've never joined us before, I have a handy dandy way to catch you up. These investigators came together over the murder of their good friend Jackson Elias, who was investigating the infamous Carlisle expedition, the members of which were all formerly presumed dead. That led him, and now you all, to a conspiracy involving various death cults around the world. Many names, many forms, but all the same and to one end. You theorize that these cults are amassing in specific locations around the globe and working together to build a machine of some sort. In Shanghai, you know the cult in question is called the Order of the Bloated Woman. You've met Jack Brady, a former member of the Carlisle expedition, who knows what the cult is doing and will help you stop them. You see how that has subtly changed because of all the things you found out and done? Cool. Last time, to be specific, Ganymede examined a book you took from Ho Fang's estate. As she translated part of the Necronomicon, she was pulled into a vision. She saw the Black Pharaoh, or was it Augustus Larkin, standing before a great archway which opened onto a marketplace in ancient Egypt, where Ganymede saw her parents. They seemed to see her and rush toward her, and Larkin told her that she could save them if she let him keep the vessel. Later, at dinner with Madame Swallow, things were tense, especially with Victor there. He and Irene investigated the noise from the hallway and caught 5 cultists of the Bloated Woman in the process of killing Madame Lin's staff. Everyone sprung into action, including Madame Lin and her gorillas, Tun and Ping. While combat ensued, Ganymede checked in on Choi Mei Ling and found her in Jack Brady's arms. he told Ganymede that he tipped off the order to their whereabouts so he could use their attack as cover to get Mei Ling away from Madame Lin. Ganymede agreed to let them go in exchange for an address where they could meet later. And Jack was sneaky enough, and Ganymede was convincing enough, that Madame Lin doesn't suspect a thing. Sunday evening, May 17th, 5 days before the new moon, the twins, who I have mostly jokingly dubbed Wanda and Pietro, because no one has asked their names and why should they tell anybody? They tie up the unconscious cultists, and Tun Tun and Ping start to drag the dead ones away into their room. Madame Lin assesses the situation and turns first to Victor. I didn't know you knew where I kept the weapons, Victor. He kind of grins at her in a sheepish way. Yeah, I'm full of surprises, but that's what you like about me and you. And he gives her a little wink.
He's on fucking first name basis. Jesus.
Listen. You give me a handsome man to play with. Yes. Yes, he is. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he is.
With his man hands.
With his delicate man hands. All right. So, Ganymede, if I recall last time you did come in and say that the cultists had taken Choi Mei Ling.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I did. And very convincingly so.
Yes. Perfect.
I had, I fired a shot into the wall to help add to the theater of the whole thing.
Yes, Allie, yes.
So so just so I'm clear, we're still there at Madame.
Oh yeah.
Ling's.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Charlie.
How can I help?
There is, this room is in utter, not disrepair, utter chaos. It is a mess. Things have fallen onto the floor. Things are broken. Madame Lin is kind of pacing back and forth, her mind elsewhere. And your friend, you feel in the back of your mind like you're being drawn, like your eyes even almost like maybe if you weren't you would mistake that as like, oh, I'm just letting my eyes wander, but you can feel like tugging behind your eyes.
Yeah, well, weird, but yeah. And he'll look like in the direction that his demon friend wants him to look.
There is a small urn made of red-veined marble. That's where he directs you. It's kind of stands out from the rubble.
Yeah, Charlie will go over to it, like super casual, and pick it up. Like, is it like palm size? Like that small?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear your friend go, put it in your pocket.
Yeah, Charlie puts it in his pocket.
That's all.
Yeah, I think he just puts it in his pocket and then kind of like dusts off his hands and then stands back up, kind of fixes his jacket. He's just like kicking. He's like just kind of, he's being so useless. He's not helping in any capacity with anything, literally nothing. Just kind of like kicking through the rubble, looking around, super casual.
Ganymede, what are you doing?
As Madame Lynn continues pacing, this is Ganymede is she's reloading the empty chamber of her shotgun just casually, but then directed at Madame Lynn says, "So what's next? What does this mean for your plan?"
Yes, what to do about Mei Ling? I propose we do nothing. We convince Jack Brady that we still have her, that we've put her somewhere safe, and we somehow convince him to give me my scroll without seeing her first.
Charlie will look towards Ganny and be like, did she leave anything behind? Anything that would be recognizably hers? I mean, we could offer him a token to show that she was here, at the least.
Ganymede looks to you. She's a little snappy with you coming down still out of her experience with the Necronomicon. She says, I don't know, Charles. I was too busy shooting to do that kind of investigating. Perhaps we should go give it a look.
Yeah, Charlie gives Ganymede a look like, whoa, calm the fuck down. Like, what's with you? What climbed up your ass and died? Like,
All in a look.
all in one look.
It's
yeah.
like a slight eyebrow raise.
Yeah, it's like a, well, okay. Yeah. And because Charlie doesn't know that that's not true, right? That what happened. And he kind of looks to the rest and he says, although I do have concerns, if they've managed to take her back, I don't know how much longer she'll make it. She was in a bad way when we found her. And if and when she is killed and Jack Brady finds out, I guess you can handle your own problems, huh?
That's right. But I will need you to act as go-between to convince him that she is still with us.
I'll see if she left anything behind. And Charlie just kind of shoves his hands in his pockets and will head towards the room that she was staying in to go take a look around.
At this point, some of her staff who was not here, who she sent out with your letter to Mr. Lee, they arrive back and, I mean, obviously, surprised at the state of things, but Madame Lin quickly focuses them and they begin to have a conversation in Shanghainese. Although, yeah, I don't know, would they, Irene, do you want to make a check?
Why not? I'll keep rolling these checks just because.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Holy
Why
shit.
not? Okay. Yes. So this conversation is about how they found Mr. Lee, spoke with him. He seemed to have no idea what to do with what you had given him, and they made sure of that. So he just kind of led them to the guest house to see if any of you were there, and no one was there. Zebulon was not there.
Mom senses tingle.
The mom senses. Yes. So you hear that exchange.
Okay.
And Victor is getting his stuff together and looking as if he's going to head out soon. Just
Okay.
getting his jacket.
He's just casually getting his stuff.
Yeah, grabbing his hat, you know?
Yep.
Seeing if anybody maybe wants to talk to him before he goes. No, he doesn't
Yeah.
have a tie.
No, he doesn't have a tie. Why would he have a tie?
No. You know, gotta look good. Yeah, do you wanna follow him out? Kind of in the front entryway?
Yeah. Just I won't like leave the house with him, but
Yeah.
I'll at least like walk with him towards the door.
If I'm gonna kidnap you, you will have no idea. Yes, go ahead. To the safety of the front door, yes.
Thanks, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Cool. So yeah, so I think as they're walking towards the door, and Irene definitely has a brow raised about the whole like first name basis with Madame Lynn. Like, Jesus. Well, you mentioned that this was all helping me with a farewell present. Are you going somewhere?
Back home.
Back to New York?
Yeah, at first, you know, boss said I always had a place there.
Yep, he's hasn't changed much. Look. Everything that I did was because I felt like I had no choice. I think it would be lying to say that we were not that we were in a good place in our relationship. And I do believe that we weren't that bringing a child into the equation would have just made it worse. So I can't tell you what you can't or can't do, what you can or can't do, clearly. And I can't make your choices for you, even if I have strong feelings about them one way or another. But she's happy and she's safe where she is. She has a good family and a life I don't think either of us could have provided. And whatever choices you make, I hope that you know that.
He considers quietly for a while. And nods. And if you let him, he will bring his hand up to your cheek.
Yeah.
Good luck. Goodbye, dream. It's time to wake up. And into the night.
Yeah, Irene just lets him go. And then we'll turn around and head back to the rest of the group. And we'll probably like get into step with both of them as they're, walking towards the room where Mei Ling was and said, well, Zeb is gone.
Great. Great. Yeah, great. Great. Great.
Gone where?
I'm not sure. They mentioned, I managed to pick up, that when they went to go deliver the message to Mr. Lee, Zeb wasn't there. No one of our party was there, so that really just means Zeb wasn't there.
Okay. If we will find him before anyone finds out, but if for some reason Annabelle finds out before we find Zeb, Ganymede, this is 100% your fault. I had nothing to do with this at all, and will take no responsibility.
She looks at you like staring daggers, and we're walking together, right? So we're super close. She's just like, and then she goes and just sort of laughs, hoping that you intended that as a joke. At least she thinks you intended that as a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he smiles. Yeah, he'll like crack a big smile at you. He knows that they're fucked if Annabelle finds out, so whatever,
Oh yeah, seriously. Yeah.
We'll find him. We'll track him down. Shouldn't be an issue. He leaves a path wherever he goes.
Yes. Well, perhaps he's gotten some lead that he's following up on.
Very possible. Journalistic instinct.
And as we're nearing the room to both of you, I say, I think perhaps it would be best if we left sooner rather than later. Reconvene at the guest house and reconsider our options.
Well, with Zeb and the girl gone, we have the perfect excuse to leave. Let's see if she happened to leave anything behind. Yeah, we'll go snoop. Snoop.
She came here in rags because she had been tortured for weeks, so no.
Yeah, that's what Charlie thought, but it's worth looking.
Yes.
Yeah, he just kind of, I think he doesn't even try that hard. He like mostly just comes into the room, like looks at it from the doorway, and then is just like, meh. Meh, what can you do? Oh, but he will go look at the hole
Yeah.
that Ganymede put in the wall.
Yeah.
Like let out a whistle. You know,
Yeah.
Ganny, you're usually a much better shot than this.
She doesn't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. If we have the opportunity to see Madame Lynn on the way out, will we have the opportunity to see Madame Lynn on the way out? How's that?
Sure.
Yeah. So as we make our way back, when we see her, I imagine Charles telling her that we didn't find anything, perhaps. But anyway, Ganymede says, Madame Lynn, it seems to me that if we are going to join you in an act of deception against Jack Brady, that perhaps we should consider again the terms of our agreement. Mr. Brady is dangerous as an enemy, and if we're going to position ourselves in that way,
What are you getting at, Miss Graves?
wondering what you might be able to do to make this risk an acceptable one to us.
The way you stared daggers at Charlie a moment ago is how she's looking at you now in her sitting room that is falling apart around you. Your risk. The risk you're taking.
Yes, of course. You have powerful allies. You have a secure, relatively secure base of operations here. I assume you have others. We have our guest house and you. So you'll appreciate the relative tenuousness of our position here.
What is it that you want? I don't know if you've seen her, like, start to lose her temper before.
Oh, y'all should probably get me out of here before I get us in any more trouble.
Nah, we love trouble.
Then jump in. The water is hot, baby.
Yeah, what do we want?
Yeah, what do we want?
Now's the time to ask.
All right. Perhaps I didn't have a plan for getting out of this one before I got myself into it. Perhaps we can consider that that you owe us I'm sure there will be opportunities for us to call upon your favor in the future.
I am certain there will be opportunities for both of us. I think you've also noticed that as this exchange began and as Madame Lynn's body and voice began to shift, that Wanda and Pietro stopped what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it was like you could cut it with a knife.
Yeah, I think Charlie just kind of is like, we should really get going. Our friend is missing, apparently.
It's been a hot second since that happened.
It has.
Yeah,
It has.
that was scary.
Apartment living, getting mail on Saturday. I hope it's something fun.
That was very funny.
Oh. That's the alarm. That's the alarm saying, "Let's go. We should."
Let's get out. Yeah.
Yeah. So as we're going, as Charlie is like pulling Ganymede away,
Yeah.
Ganymede says, "Thank you as always for the hospitality, Madam Lynn."
Get the fuck out of our house. Get the.
Bye. Taking my weapons and going. Bye.
Yep.
Oh my god. Bye. Yeah, Charlie just takes like the deepest breath as soon as they're outside, and he kind of looks at Ganny and goes, "What's up with you?"
Can I look around just to see if we're being followed or anything like that before
Absolutely.
I
Make a spot hidden
respond?
check.
I will.
I said a spot hidden check. Okay. Looks clear. I mean, it's it's late at night in Shanghai.
Yeah.
The streets are still decently busy, but I mean, there's like nobody's right up on you, so nobody could hear you. Whether or not
Okay,
somebody's
cool.
following you is another thing.
Awesome. So ensuring that we're very close together, Ganymede says, it was Jack Brady who orchestrated the invasion of Madame Lynn's residence as a cover for him to secret away Mei Ling himself. We have a meeting established with him, but she is safely in his care.
No shit. I think Charlie looks like just impressed that you managed to also fool him. He has like a pretty good read on people, and especially Ganymede. I think he feels like he knows her really well at this point.
Yeah.
And so being fooled, like that level of a lie, I think is like he's like really impressed by that.
Yeah. Well then, seems like Jack Brady owes us some answers.
At the least.
Yes, and Madame Lynn is going. I shudder to think of how she will react if she finds out.
No, that's not happening.
No. I thought perhaps my my combativeness might help to create the to help bolster the illusion, so to speak. Did it work, do you think?
You certainly were combative. Listen, even if it was Jack Brady, we can say, you saw a man in uniform. regardless, you don't have to know anything. Even if she does find out that Jack Brady was the one that took her in the end, your lie, Ganny, was convincing enough. I mean, I was convinced. I would believe you if you'd said he was simply masked. You didn't see his face.
She can't help but smile to herself at that.
We'll do everything we can to keep her on our side.
All right.
Are you actually going back to the guest house?
I would say so, to just see if there's any traces of Zeb, like a note or, you know, a cold bath. I don't know. Whatever. you
Yeah.
know?
There is a cold
The
bath.
remnants of Zeb.
I guess it's more like was it willing or unwilling leaving?
Yeah, looking for signs of like if there was
Because
like, a
if it was like
struggle.
unwilling, we'd see like struggle, like dragged
yeah.
out water, like
So there are a couple weird things. There's no sign of a struggle, and all your stuff is gone.
No signs of a struggle. All of our stuff is gone.
Yeah.
great.
All of our stuff is gone. Books, all of our scrolls, everything.
Yep, everything.
Fuck, shit, damn. I think Charlie is literally just cursing from his room literally the moment he gets in there. And I'll literally try and find any staff members, like literally anyone in the area who can be like, did Zeb fucking take our shit and leave? Like, where did he fucking go?
There is the person kind of runs the guest house who informs you that, yes, Zeb and another man and Zeb and another man checked you all out.
How considerate. Great, how considerate. Ganny, you don't happen to know where Jack Brady is?
I know where he asked us to meet him.
That's good enough for me.
Yes. It's still, what time is it? What time of day is it now?
It's pretty late. It's like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. This is where we'll need to be very cautious about not being followed.
Yeah, it's easier that you don't have a bunch of luggage.
Yeah.
True.
True.
Perhaps we could, we can take the scenic route. Do we have anything left to do here?
Nah, we just go. We're homeless. Let's get out of here.
On the move.
I think we thank them for their hospitality.
Absolutely.
And
I give them as much money as I have. Thanks, guys.
Whatever's in your pockets.
Yeah, whatever's in my pocket.
How many
yeah.
silver dollars are in here?
So many. Too many.
Okay. How do you want to ensure that you're not being followed?
Probably look around the area first. Just
See
to
how
make
many
sure.
are on us already.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's get some spot hiddens. Scroll back up to my cultist stats.
Success.
Nice.
success here.
Nice.
Well, just good old successes.
Okay. Actually, that was the wrong thing I needed. This. Yeah. You do spot someone that you assume to be one of Madame Lynn's servants tailing you back to the guest house, but, like when you are looking around, rather, but nobody else.
So perhaps we go out to the kitchen door of the guest house rather than reappear on the street.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe even like a low key diversion where like two people are like sneaking out the back door, but like Charlie's standing out front smoking, looking like he's waiting on them to catch up, something like that, just so people like can get out.
Yeah.
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 That's
So they're
great.
keeping an eye on him. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So
And we're off.
you're off. So you're actually headed back toward Madame Lynn's into the
Oh,
old
gotcha.
city. To here, number 27 on your map. If I can just there. Okay. Sure. So the address you were given leads to kind of compound with a 12-foot high wall, the only entrance being a robust wooden gate.
Knock knock.
After a few moments, the door opens, and you see, let's pull him up, a bald man, he's short with a shaven head, and wearing robes. He is an older gentleman. And he doesn't say anything, he just gestures for you to come inside.
Yeah.
Let
Let
me-
in.
Cool. Let me show everyone real quick the character. There we go. That's nice. I like everybody to see that. Okay, yes, and it's very quiet and tense, and as soon as you're in, he closes the gate and bars it. The sounds of Shanghai fade away as you're brought in. As you enter, you see, you're led through this courtyard that has a large pool in it, not unlike the one at Ho Fang's home. And he brings you through to a living room here. And you notice as you go in, a cross tied with a heavy-duty wire that is not looped around the inside of the anything, is a 12-gauge shotgun. Looks like it is meant to rebuff intruders. And he still hasn't said anything, but he gestures at the seating area around the table in the living room, and then heads through another door. Why don't you all tell me what you do as you sit here and wait?
This is a pretty small space. Is there any are there like voices? Are there like, does it seem like there's a lot of people here?
You would think with the size of the place, there's probably at least a servant or two.
Okay.
But otherwise you don't hear many voices.
Yeah, I'll just casually like look around the room,
Mm-hmm.
just see if there's anything interesting. Oh, these people always have interesting things, like poking and touching their stuff.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
are books.
I love books.
Yes, they are all uh, in classical Chinese. And without knowing what any of them say, I mean it's hard to.
Do I get any cool vibes off of any of them anyway?
No, not any in here. No,
Oh, damn, no like weird human skin ones. Okay.
not so far.
Not so far. Yeah, so Charlie's just kind of looking. He'll like pick up a book, flip through it, doesn't understand a single word, and it's just
Yeah.
like, whatever, puts it back. uh, yeah, he's very much just kind of like. I think that Charlie feels he probably doesn't show it like a lot, but he does get kind of anxious not knowing where Zeb is or like what's going on with that, and knowing that Zeb was with another person because Charlie believes that Zeb could be tricked or fooled into going with a man who did not have him have his best interest at heart.
Yeah.
But also, he could be taken hostage, right? Like it could be a situation where Zeb was forced to go with a guy, and so I
Yep.
think Charlie's just kind of like aimlessly pacing, kind of nervous. He's got his tarot cards. He's like shuffling them annoyingly,
Yeah.
consistently. Yeah, constantly.
Did you want to ask a question?
Oh, damn.
That's a thing you can do.
Yeah, it is a thing I can do. Yeah, I will. Let me see. How does this work again? So I can use tarot cards to divine the future in some fashion. Usually this centers on a specific question, such as, is there danger, blah, blah, blah. The question should be answerable with a yes or no, with any additional information given at the keeper's discretion. The reading takes 1d10 rounds, and it costs the psychic 1d6 magic points and requires a successful divination roll. So I'm going to roll that first.
Cool.
I might, let's see what I got. I'm going to use an advantage.
Okay.
I'm not amazing at divination. Do my best.
Ooh.
A success. Woo! Coming in clutch. Thanks. Advantage. Now I have none. Hint, hint. Wink, wink.
Wonk.
Looking at you, chat.
What?
Okay.
What is your question?
Takes 4 minutes, and I'm asking. Oh hell yeah! That's what it's about. I think my question is Zeb safe?
You get a kind of murky reading on that. He is not in imminent danger at this time.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess. Do you mind if I tweak it just a little bit?
Sure.
Do you mind if I tweak it? Okay. I'm gonna ask. I want to phrase it like, is the man that Zeb is with going to harm Zeb? Basically, does the man Zeb was traveling with intend harm to Zeb?
no.
Okay, great. That will definitely set him at ease. Yeah. Just because that was his main concern, that the person that Zeb went with would hurt him in some way or didn't wish, want the best for him. So yeah, I think he does if there's a little coffee table or even a side table, he'll just quickly shuffle out the cards, flip them out. He does it so fast. It's this takes 4 minutes, so it takes a long amount of time. But yeah, he definitely looks relieved after he goes through his cards. Yeah.
Ganymede and Irene. Irene, you sketched down some of the things that Ganymede saw in her vision, right?
Yep.
Okay. I want both of you to make history checks.
Wit checks?
History.
Ooh, okay. History. Whoa.
Okay. An extreme is kind of what you needed
Great.
to get all this info. As you're passing this time, maybe flipping through your sketchbook, which you would have because you had it on you
Yep.
at Madame Lynn's. You start to look at these and think of Ganny's description of them, and you can start to kind of place them. This kind of massive earthquake with the kind of environment she described and the clothing reminds you of this natural disaster, this earthquake that devastated the Shensi province in 1556. Killed like 800,000 people. The famine she described in certain provinces was between, like, in the late 1870s, which claimed between 3 and 9 million victims through starvation and disease. And that third entry is the hardest. With the water, the waves, this, but you recall from somewhere that there were ships lost during and after the Battle of Port Arthur, around 1904, which took place between Russia and Japan. And the fourth entry, obviously, is not from the past. So, that is what you glean. You can place all these events, basically.
Interesting. Okay. So I think, like, as these are coming to her, like, she's going back through the sketches and, like, writing down these notes for herself, like, this, what the years were, the general, like, context of that situation. And when she has it all down, I think she kind of looks over at Ganymede. I was thinking, my history of the area is a little rusty, but I think you know, the dream or vision that you had, most of them reflect actual events that happened throughout history around here. And she'll share all of that information that she just got.
Should we take this to believe that these events were somehow supernaturally influenced?
I imagine, considering how you got your vision, that's probably more than likely.
And what then of the final scene?
Well, considering it's not something that's happened yet, I can only imagine it's this as a possibility that might happen in the future.
Ganymede has been she's been standing near the wall by the window, looking out that window occasionally, just to obviously anxious and as this little conversation ends, she goes back to sit down in one of the seats with her back to the back wall and just lays her weapon across her lap, kind of at the ready. She sort of drumming her fingers on the wood of the pistol grip.
One more thing with that extreme, because it's extreme. How to put this? How to put this?
How to put this? How to?
All those events were preceded. I think, I don't know, this is maybe I don't know what book you were reading, where you got all this from, but those who, like Mr. Lung, right, believe in astrology, knew they were coming.
Okay.
There was some kind of astronomical sign preceding them.
Fun.
Yes.
Fun. Definitely not like the new moon that's showing up at a fucking doorstep
I mean,
shortly.
the new moon happens every month. Something weirder.
Yeah, but there's different kinds of moons if you're
Oh,
really
yes.
looking at this.
Oh, yes, that's true. That's true. So, after a while, emerging from the same door, this man with a shaved head comes out along with Jack Brady. Glad you could make it.
Glad that you could make it, Jack. Did you have any trouble getting out of the compound?
No, it doesn't seem we were spotted or even being looked for. And he gives you a nod.
You should know that Madame Lynn, that her intent is to deceive you into thinking that she still has mailing, and to continue to use her as leverage to get her book back.
He just kind of smiles. I mean, that's clever. I don't know that she necessarily believes that it'll work, but I suppose I've left her between a rock and a hard place.
So what's next?
Well, I guess we have a chat, us and my friend here. This is Mu Xian. He's a scholar here, well respected and really good at translating ancient Chinese script. And he knows a lot about the Order, because it's been around for a long time.
Ganymede bows her head respectfully in his direction, and settles in, I think, to listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Jack goes to the kitchen and procures some tea while Mu Xian begins talking. What do you know about the Order?
We know the basics. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable saying that we're by any means experts.
They...
We,
Yes.
we know a bit about what they're up to, or at least we think that we do. We've encountered their compatriots in several different parts of the world that we've visited recently, enough to know that they are deadly.
The Order serves a dark goddess, whom they believe is one aspect of a primal deity worshipped secretly in many forms all over the world. The Order knows the goddess as the Bloated Woman, from whom they take their name. And, of course, everything in Shanghai ebbs and flows, but in the last 5 years, it has grown very powerful. Only a fraction of the Order's victims have been found. Now, murder of the innocent has become a less pressing matter in these troubled times. Their trademark is to sever the arms of their victims, allowing them to bleed to death, which is apparently particularly pleasing to their goddess. I believe, and Mr. Brady believes, that they want to summon their goddess to Earth. And the first step is to poison or rupture the sky. And we think that is going to happen soon, but we don't know exactly when. After the sky has been altered, the world will slowly become tainted with evil entities. The stars will shift and the rest of this dark goddess's pantheon will arrive.
Do you know how they intend to do this poisoning of the sky?
Jack and Truman seem to think it will involve some kind of machine.
Yes.
Ganymede, you mentioned the radioactive materials or the poisonings. I imagine radium poisoning is certainly one way to poison the skies.
Yes, particularly if it were contaminated or cut with other types of heavy radioactive metals, it could potentially have a dramatic impact on the global ecosystem. The death would be on a scale perhaps heretofore unknown. It would affect every species on the planet.
Scholar Wuxian, I was thinking, there's been a history of dramatic ecological events that have happened over the past centuries. Earthquakes, famine, ships disappearing into the waves. And I do have the thought that, generally speaking, they may be connected to certain cosmological events and the supernatural in some way. If the Order of the Bloated Woman had been around for a long time, do you think that perhaps they could have had a hand in those?
What years are you referring to?
It was 1556, and she'll just start listing off
Yeah.
the years.
Yes, those were times when the Order was in power. Cosmological event.
And I do believe there was mentions of a active volcano not too far from here. All of these related groups we've come across, they all like to do their work around the time of the new moon. But considering that they all seem to be orchestrating to work together within the span of a few months of each other is now feels more like a pattern than coincidence.
Since you finished talking about the years, he maybe looks like he's listening, but his eyes are far away and kind of rapidly moving, trying to figure out. He keeps kind of saying cosmological event. And then he gets up and goes toward a book or something. Yeah, Ganymede.
Yeah. It's not Ganymede's field of study, but I could perhaps, would you take a natural world roll to think about some kind of astronomical event?
Yeah, it would have to be a pretty big roll.
Yeah.
Especially because it's not astronomy.
Right. Yeah. I do have navigate, but okay, let me give it a shot here and see what I can do.
That's a
hard success.
Okay. Well, there is something strange you saw in your vision, but not in the visions of the past.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, some kind of planetary alignment, wasn't it? I don't remember the details, and I don't have my notes with me right now. I left my notes over on the table, Lauren.
Let's see.
Yeah, remind me, please.
Let me scroll back up in my notes, which are on my computer.
This is what I get for keeping notes on paper.
That is what you get. That is exactly what you get. I have to scroll all the way back to my notes on Zed's vision. Let me just bring up the...
Yeah. Oh, right. I have that. Sorry, I could have done that.
Yeah, you have it. You remember those words. They are seared into your mind.
Yes.
It's the last page.
Okay, I'll pull it up here.
I showed it to you.
You did, didn't you? And so the great goddess tells me that in the 14th year, the Hellvipers plan to salt the heavens. Poisoned metal stolen from the sky comes to fruition. On that day, the sun grows dark. The silver bird shall take wing. Fiery death proclaims the opening of the way for our mistress and her kin. The sun grows dark. It's an eclipse. It's an eclipse. Yeah. Yeah, she says that out loud as he's rifling through, as he's going for the book.
Yeah.
Kind of similarly absent-minded as he has been. It's an eclipse. It's an eclipse. And she, I assume he's already doing this, but she says to him, astronomical tables. Do you have access to a set of accurate astronomical tables?
Yeah, he's pulling all sorts of things down and starts looking. He says, lunar or solar?
Sun grows dark. Solar, I would assume, yes.
Flipping through. Starting in 1925 and then going forward. And his finger moves with yours, Ganymede.
Yeah.
As you both stop on January 14th, 1926. And as you see that, you are brought back to the ship you sailed on to England, where Miss Jasmine Pink told you, he walks among us, sowing his seeds, a crawling kind of chaos, 1,000 faces and none, a messenger, a bringer of madness for madness' sake. His tendrils reach throughout time and space. I see a great tear, 6, 2, 9, 1, 4, 1, 1, 0. And you all get 10 luck back.
Wow. Wow.
Literal body chills, literal body chills. Oh my fucking god.
And was that like 10 months ago, maybe? That was
so fucking long ago. When
I
that
love that. I love that shit so much. That's
too.
amazing.
Allie and I were watching a show a little while ago, and it took place in 1926, and I was like, oh, 1926, big year.
Yes, you did.
Big year.
Big year.
Big year.
No, I'm just scrolling back because I wanted to, in my quotes, just to see if I can guess about how much. How long ago that was? Yeah, that would have been about a year ago.
Wow. Wow.
It would have been about a year ago. I was looking at I'm like, okay, I know we were in England, so a little bit back from that. So we were in England
right.
around August last year.
So badass.
Jack is kind of standing behind you. Okay. Gives us 8 months. And Mushian's eyes are like bright. It's like the final piece of the puzzle. Jack says, "Okay, how much time do you need to finish the translation?" And Mushian is kind of brought out of this like reverie. 6 days. I can finish it in 6 days. Jack kind of turns to all of you. That thing they blew up on top of the Red Pyramid at Dasher, it was some kind of ward. That's how all this started, when they got rid of it. And I've spent all this time trying to figure out how to fix it. But you can't fix it, as it turns out. You can only make a new one. That's what Mr. Moo is working on translating for me. You see why we can't just give Madame Lin her scroll back. In fact, when Mr. Moo's done, we're going to destroy it. If any of the cults find out what we're trying to do, we'll never be able to make it happen. If we make these wards, put them in the right spots, fix what we destroyed in Dasher, it'll stop a huge part of their plan. The machine's part of it too, out on the island. And we've got to deal with that, though I've recently begun to suspect they have a backup somewhere close. And now we know how long we have.
If you destroy the scroll, you don't have any concerns about history repeating itself somewhere down the line and leaving those in the future defenseless against people like this?
It's a calculated risk.
Fucking big one.
How else do you propose that we make sure that, say, Ho Fang doesn't get his hands on it and realize what we know?
Get it out of country first. Get it somewhere safe. If you had a group of people that you could trust, and I think we've been slowly but surely gathering a group of people like that. He's specifically thinking of the journalists.
Yeah.
They could pass it around every year or so, keep it safe, hand it down, just in case.
And in the meantime, we could do everything in our power to ensure that that this cult ends here. That it is not able to pass its goals and powers down to future generations. The more we can do to wipe it out now, the lower the risk.
Assumably, from what we've seen, the power behind these cults come from the fact that they're able to work with each other. Well, we have a lot of records of these different branches talking to each other, coordinating across oceans. We've already put some interesting wrenches into the machines in England. I imagine knocking down this one, considering how clearly well established it is, would throw some further complexities into the plans. And better, if they're working in concerted efforts, it's better that we work in our own.
It's a long silence, I think, but finally he kind of cracks a smile. It's a pretty good idea.
And if we deal with Ho Fang as quickly as possible, it'll get us better into the graces of Madame Lin, who we're already having to deal with, considering we are now delaying the scroll by at least 6 days, if not forever.
You all should stay here. You shouldn't go back. We shouldn't stick our heads out, even. Because once they lose track of you for more than a day, I have to assume that she'll have wised up.
Complication about that, as you can probably tell, we're missing Zebulon.
Oh. Yeah. Chu Min had a bit of an idea. He's helping him out with it. He's fine.
There's that.
Good to know.
Look.
Mom squint.
Yeah, the mom squint's like, A note would have done nicely.
Well, then it probably would have been found by Madame Lin's men.
Rather, it would have been nice that he had left of his own accord and not, as I had had some concerns, been kidnapped or something.
Does he get kidnapped a lot?
He, I'm sure you have observed, is a fairly trusting young man.
Not so much kidnapped as just willingly goes with strangers places he probably shouldn't.
Yeah, he seems that type.
Counts on their fingers how many times he's gone off on his own with weird, mysterious people.
Yeah. Yep. So, you will find all your things in a guest room. Fortunately.
I love my stuff! Give me my stuff!
And as I said, Mushian says he needs 6 days to finish the translation of the 7 cryptical books.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 days to the new moon.
Yep.
It happens. It's been known to happen. Sometimes things
happen.
just don't line up. The second that Charlie has a moment alone,
Sure.
he's gonna look at that urn.
Sure.
that
Yeah.
he took.
Absolutely.
Like, LOL demon, why'd you make me steal? What is this?
So,
Yeah.
when you open the urn, you can faintly smell spices.
Mm-hmm.
As you're trying to kind of like figure out what exactly it is. Who would Charlie most like to talk to right now? Who's he thinking of?
I mean, it's Zara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie, you're psychic. As you like breathe this in, it's like you feel a channel click on. And you kind of picture her face in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
You know, I think that there's like this pretty constant fear that like it's like already too late, you know, that she's gone or that something has happened, that she's beyond reach, and that he won't be able to get to her in time. And so it's like when he thinks about her and like pictures her face and he can like feel this kind of like this shift in his mind, you know, the question that's there, this is just kind of like a cry of like, are you still there? Like, are you still with me? Are you holding on? Because like he's still looking, you know, every night before he goes to sleep, he's still looking for her. And so, yeah, I think too, like having that kind of like happen so abruptly, it's like not coherent really, you know, like it's not like a clean thought or like a clean question. It's kind of like that desperate like connection that he didn't think that he would get to her.
You receive something similarly muddled back at first, but it is unmistakably her. You make out a few words. Home. Darkness. Encased. And vessel. And then the connection goes away, and no matter how much you try to reestablish it, it's not there for now. The smell fades as well.
Yeah. Damn. You ever been so grateful to have a demon living in your body? I have.
All the time.
All the time. Yeah, Charlie's like, ooh, that shakes him up pretty good. But he quickly like writes down those words, the few words that he managed to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else over these days if you are waiting? If you're not waiting, then we can always do something else.
If Charlie mentions any of this to us, then I would draw the connection to give me back, return to me the vessel from my vision.
Yeah.
Let me keep, yeah. And then what was it? It was, oh, you don't know this yet, or you haven't been there yet.
You're not here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I think that he maybe would mention it. Probably not like the next day. It probably takes him a few days to like fully like sit with that and process that.
Yeah.
But he would, I think that he has mentioned a handful of times, maybe like 2 or 3 times total, that he can sense her in some capacity, or that he did have a connection with her. Like, it's just a super like passing comment, right? But I think that he would say, okay, awesome. I would say that he would mention at some point in those 6 days that he had a brief connection with Zara, and he would show them the words that he wrote down.
Yeah. Ganymede would point, I think, at a vessel where you'd written it down, and it's what Larkin or whatever has whatever it was that took him seemed to feel that a vessel was important to it and was concerned that we might take it away. Which tells me that that should be on our agenda.
It already was.
Any more idea of where she might be?
Somewhere it will be very difficult to reach her. But I'll keep trying.
Perhaps we could enlist our journalist friends to make inquiries.
At this point, no idea is a bad idea.
If at some point, I mean, if the three of us are together, I think at some point. So are we just going to wait here then? We're going to let the new moon pass.
It would feel out of character for us to do nothing. Wouldn't it?
Most certainly would.
So maybe we should think about doing something.
What exactly then?
No idea is a bad idea.
I'm not so sure that I agree with that bit of folk wisdom, Charles. Particularly with our numbers reduced with Zebulon's absence. We could, of course, and she's looking at Irene as well, make our way to the island, try to disrupt whatever it is that they have planned there. And even if we have miscalculated and they don't have anything significant happening on the new moon, at least we could conduct a reconnaissance of the place.
That's true, and we do have some of those robes, I still believe, somewhere. Probably needs a wash after being dunked in the ocean.
Yes. There's always the backup machine that Jack believes is somewhere nearby. Would be lovely to leave Shanghai with both of them in ruins.
Yeah, that would feel pretty good, I think. If we can get as much information as we can, maybe Jack knows more, find out anything about the construction, where they are, especially the backup one, then we can work toward a plan to undermine and destroy.
Yes. I've been feeling a bit off for a few days. I think some time at sea would do me good.
And that's where we're going to end today's episode. Let's go around and chat with everyone. Let's start with Summer.
Hi. Totally fine. What a fun episode. Yeah, loved that. Loved it. Loved that for us. Okay. Hi, I'm Summer. You can find me on Twitter at justasummerjob. That's where I tweet and retweet about everything that I've got going on. The only thing I'd like to promo is Missing Annie Lee.
Hey.
Finale was yesterday. And yeah, we have been working on that project for over a year now. From its conception to obviously the final release. There is still more to come. We have other goodies that will be released in the coming weeks. But yeah, if you haven't listened to Missing Annie Lee, it is a complete series. You can go listen to the whole thing on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, literally anywhere podcasts are found. Please, if you do and you like it, leave us a review, share it with your friends, share it with your family. It's a project that I am so fucking thankful to be a part of, and one of the best things I've ever been a part of, like, period, creatively. Super proud of what we accomplished with that story. So please go give it a listen. It would mean a lot to all of us.
Yay, let's go up to Allie.
Yes. Oh, that was so much fun. My mind is still blown by the callback to Jasmine Pink. I still don't even know what to do about that. It was so cool. Loved it. Hey, you can find me if you're interested in doing that sort of thing on Twitter at Allison Robinson with 2 L's and a Y, where I tweet about RPGs and space and robots and other cool things. If you're into that, maybe check me out there. Look, I finished Missing Annie Lee last night, and I will tell you, it is it is narratively brilliant and constantly surprising. I loved it. I'm so excited to get to kind of listen through it again at this point, knowing everything that I know and catch all the little tidbits. But here's my thought: if you're going on a road trip this summer, like you're going to be spending some time in the car, it is the perfect road trip listening. So grab it and yeah, don't sleep on this one. It's super, super cool. I loved it so much. Thank you all for your brilliance and your generosity with sharing it with the rest of us who just get to have fun with it. Okay, that's it. See you next time, everybody.
Kienna.
Yay! Yeah. Wow, so many things. Now we have a timeline. We have a deadline for solving this shit across the world, which also requires months of traveling. So you know.
I'm sure there will be no weird time fuckery either.
No, absolutely not. Why would there be any time fuckery in any of our things ever?
I don't know.
But yeah, you can find me over on Twitter at KiennaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing. I'm all over the internet doing all sorts of TTRPG stuff. I actually just announced today when we went live that I am joining the writing team for Cursed Captains of Cthulhu by Black Cats Gaming. And I'll just give a sneak peek that I am writing something about Nyarlathotep for that. So, you know, if you want to learn some more about what I do Eldritch Horror-wise, you can go check that project out. But yeah, otherwise, you'll mostly just find me on the channel. We have some cool projects coming up. So yeah, we're doing a lot of cool things around here. But that's about it for me. What about you, Lauren?
You can find me on Twitter at thatsaltyginger. Otherwise, you will find me here every Saturday running Masks of Nyarlathotep. Yeah, we finished up Resident Evil 8 recently.
Yeah, so we have to figure out our next game that we want to do on stream.
Yes, and then I played it like in one day by myself because I
have the time.
I loved it so much. But for now, I'm just gonna go melt into a puddle because it's so hot here. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for subscribing and being in chat and all that stuff. You can follow us on Twitter to see when we go live and anything else we post about, like new projects, and the VODs will be up on YouTube very soon. Thank you to our sponsors, Roll20, Dice, Ending and Grinding Coffee Co. We are going to go raid a friend. Probably Invert, I think he is alive, who's part of our team Emporium, And we will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.